Well, Neil, you obviously had a few selection issues on Saturday. How many have you got available for tomorrow?
I don't really know, if I'm honest. We've had a bit of a bug as well around the last couple of days as well. So I think we're going to just have to wait and see. I don't think we can really plan the team until tomorrow. The gist of it are, the back five's okay, which is okay. So, but we've got problems elsewhere in the team. But I think hopefully Gunnar's is training today. He hasn't done anything yet this week. He's really been knocked back by the virus. And then we've got one or two other lads that have had a little bit of a bug. So it's all hands on deck at the minute.
I was going to ask you about Aaron Gunnison, but you haven't necessarily seen him on the training field to see if he's...
No, we haven't. No, he's not been able to do it. He's been too weak, really.
Would you risk him if he looks okay?
Well, I think he knows the situation. We didn't. He's been doing his own thing at the minute, and we won't risk him if there's a threat to it. So we'll leave it down to Aaron really tomorrow.
The club have done a deal with tickets. I think it could have 20,000 there tomorrow, potentially more. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And also we've put season tickets on sale today, which is another massive thing, because I think we've all got to get round now. People that haven't been for a few years or haven't bought a season ticket, I want them all to get off the backsides now and get down to the stadium. It's a great atmosphere when we've got a buzzing, and they know the lads are really doing the best now and giving 100%. So we need everybody to come together really. So I would like to ask the fans to get them bought early. I'll be announcing where we're going pre-season so they can have a week's holiday in the next few weeks and book their holidays. And other than that, it's a very really happy place at the minute.
Because since the team was relegated, there hasn't been too many matches when they've had a crowd like you could have tomorrow. In theory, you want that every week next season.
Yeah, we do. It's great for the club to realise a fixture like this. No disrespect to Birmingham, but it's great to get, to probably give the opportunity for people that haven't been for a while to come back, and can afford it and to get the place buzzing, because it is a great atmosphere when it's 20,000 in, and we're all looking forward to it.
Because I think you've seen from the other side, haven't you? I remember one game in particular when you were QPR manager, and you came here towards the end of the season. What an atmosphere it was that day. It was.
That was probably one of the best, if not the best game of my time at QPR. We had some great games, but Cardiff had a really good team then. The place was buzzing, and I talked to Bothroyd, who I had play for me after that. Bothroyd scored, Bellamy scored, and Tarab was two fabulous finishers. So it was a cracking game. I always remember that one, and that's how I remember Cardiff. Cardiff, typical fans are getting behind the team and giving everything, and they've been superb for me since the last few away games. The noise they've generated has been fantastic, and it's been a little bit frustrating for me at times, because we are with the same group of players that we took over really. So it's frustrating at times where a little bit better in certain areas and we should have won games that we've not possibly won. But you have to bite your tongue and look to the future.
You've probably not got as high up the table as you would have wanted yourself. What do you want to achieve in the final, however many games there are left?
Well, I think first and foremost we've got to get to 50 points as soon as we can. We've got 2 home games, and I think then I really have to look at one or two of the younger lads, one or two lads in different positions. I've just got to clear my whole mind out, but I won't, there's not a lot we can change, really. It's just a matter of letting everybody, how we can improve in certain areas and use these games as a base for next season, rather than just, play the season out with, non-entity games. I think it's important for the players, because they know I've not totally made my mind up yet about players, so they're all playing for the places really.
Arguably, the star of your reign in charge has been Cancer Hall. I think you said at the turn of the year he's been a big find for you. The form he's in now, though, is he hit form that you didn't think he was capable of a couple of months ago?
Well, I think as a manager you can, you see things in players, but it's getting it out of him really. And before our head-to-head at half-time against Wolves, it hadn't come out where I wanted it. But I think that 45 minutes was a really crucial time for him. And I think he realised that in life in general, not just in football, if you don't give everything, you don't get everything out. But if you give everything you've got, then usually you come out on top. And since that day, he's been putting everything in. We haven't had a lot of options. He's had to play most games till he's run out of steam, you know, with Lambert being injured. So we've got to address that situation. But all credit to him. I must admit, I'm a selfish point of view. I didn't realise about him getting called up for the under-21s. I mean, if he'd have been the full Danish team, I could understand that. But I might have to see if I can get hold of somebody and have a word, because, you know, we planned all these games that he's had for him to have a rest over the international break. So I don't really want him to go with Denmark and play 2 full 90 minutes, because I think that could really put him under pressure injury-wise. So you know, they've got England the second game on a Monday before we play Wolves. So I'm hoping that they will treat him with respect and give him, you know, 55, 60 minutes rather than 90.
In your experience, does that kind of thing happen if you make the request?
Well, you can only ask. You know, it all depends on how important the games are. Now, I don't think these are qualifying games. These are friendly games. So I would hope that they, you know, with it being his first call-up, and it's a late call-up sort of thing, that they listen to, you know, because we planned all along for these games, his training in the last 6 weeks, for him to get a breather in those international break. So now he's got 2 games. It's thrown a spoke in this, you know, in this spanner in this, whatever they call it. I don't know which way it is that now.
But he's got 7 goals in his last 8. If he continues between now and the end of the season, is there going to be interest from other clubs? Do you think?
Well, I mean, you've got to. Other clubs have got to be looking at strikers in everywhere, every department, haven't they? But we won't be selling him. That's a cert. If I've got any chance whatsoever next season, he won't be going anywhere. You know, I mean, you can never say never, can you? If somebody come in and offered, God knows, 20 million quid or somebody, you can't say no, can you? I'd sell Bamba for that, I think. Now you say about Zohore, for me, Bamba's been just as important. You know, that, regarding the team.
But with the finances out the other day, that doesn't affect if transfer offers come in for your existing squad. You're not under any pressure.
No, not at all. I don't think for 1 minute Vincent would want to sell him. If Vincent wants to do well next year, so does Mehmet. We all do. So they know, you know, what I've done with the player. I'm not sure the player would do the same with other managers, if I'm honest. I think sometimes it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. And I think Ken knows at the moment he's got a lease of life that might not have been possible a few months ago. And I think he understands my contribution to that. And I think that he needs me as much as I need him at the minute.